Welcome, 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 one and all, to the first ever A Tribe Called Three's first ever podcast. We are your awesome young hosts. I'm Doug.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Trini.
And our whole podcast is centered on focusing on issues around the world that affect black people, specifically people of color, melanated.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so today's issue is going to be on Black Lives Matter. We know everybody in the world has an opinion on what Black Lives Matter means to them, but we're going to dive into what it means to us and how it affects the black community, why we have it, and why examples of why we still need it. So to lead off our conversation, we're going to start with our fantastic group leader, Ryan.
Oh my gosh. All right. So I just wanted to talk about why Black Lives Matter. And I want to separate it from the organization and the actual Black Lives Matter.
Preaching.
Because the organization, it supports us and they want our money, but we don't know where our money's going to.
Exactly.
We don't know if it's going to HBCUs. We don't know if it's going to black churches. We don't know if it's going to black private businesses or anything like that. We are giving our money because we are black people, so we feel as though we need to give money out. But at the end of the day, we really don't know where our money is going. So what are your thoughts on that, guys?
Well, one of my biggest issues with Black Lives Matter personally is that it's not centralized. That can be a good and a bad thing. Bad, obviously, because you can have a faction that's fucking it up for everybody and making it all look bad. Good, because you can have a faction that's doing amazing things on the street, just protesting, keeping it peaceful, and it's gathering people of all kinds together to speak on the issue of Black Lives Matter. But overall, like she said, it matters because y'all act like this is a political thing. Now, I'm saying it's political to black folks. Everything we say we need. It's not every 2 or 4 years that we're trying to fight for our rights. We need this stuff every single day because it matters to us and our kids and our mothers, fathers, siblings, all of our families every single day.
Absolutely.
And it's always minimalized whenever we have an issue. Like, no, we're just complaining about this, this, or this. When we were freed in 1865, even though we weren't really free, when we were freed, the first thing they said was, oh, well, first, the next thing you know, they're going to start asking for rights. I know, how crazy are we to ask for a little bit of equality? And here we are. The year is 2020, and all the stuff going on in the world with Corona and Kobe dying and all this other stuff that people, personal stuff that people got going on, we're still fighting for equality, and we're still fighting for police, fighting against police brutality. Is that not a joke to anybody? I'm going to let my man Trini speak on his part of it.
Yeah. Just to piggyback what they were saying, like Doug said, it's really no centralized goal in mind or anything. You know, you hear about the Black Lives Matter movement and everything, and it's just like, okay, who's heading it up? What's the who all is involved with that? Like you said, if we send out some money or whatever, there's no plan. We don't know if it's going straight into somebody's pocket or what's going on. The whole idea of it being a political movement is crazy. It's crazy. It's like
Right.
It is.
Well, one thing we talked about before that we went on a little bit in the group chat, but that we talked about a couple times before that bothered me is that we keep having these poor martyrs that keep dying, like George Floyd. Obviously, we're going to talk about Breonna Taylor because the people who've killed her haven't been held accountable yet. But we keep having these issues where the police go above and beyond to kill an innocent black person. And I'm not saying perfectly innocent as if they've never done anything, but I'm saying that they use excessive force and ends up in the death of a black person. Yo, my biggest problem is that we're still, like, we've been saying this since our parents were saying it, our grandparents were saying it, and here we are in 2020.
get nowhere.
People with kids.
Same thing.
Trinity has a son, and he's still saying it.
Yeah.
I'm still saying it, and I want to have kids with it. Ryan wants to have kids with it, and she's still saying it.
Yeah.
It's an absolute joke. It's a travesty.
It's crazy because, like you said, my son and everything. I shouldn't have to sit down and talk to my 10-year-old about, 9-year-old, he'll be 10, but
What to do and what not to do when the cop comes around.
Like, it's crazy. I shouldn't have to, I feel like I'm kind of, scarring him before he even enters the world. So it's like, hopefully, if I'm scarring you now, you'll build up that scar tissue, and you're like, okay, I know how to move and navigate through the world. And it shouldn't be like that. He should be able to move around just like
as freely as anybody else's son or daughter,
And one thing I want to add on that I'm point to y'all about, when I was coming up And I know y'all parents did it. I
already know what you're ready to say.
Yeah, you already know. Everybody, if you're a black person, you know what's about to come.
I already know.
When you got to a certain age, specifically the age, he's talking about his son, your parents gave you a talk about how to deal with the police. And it is a scary thing. Not what to do when you head out to go to a new area by yourself, or not to talk about staying in the group. What to do in case you encounter the police, whether it's driving and you get pulled over, whether you're with your friends and you get stopped by police officers. You had that talk. The talk for us and other races is not the same, specifically white folks. Exactly. White folks can talk about, most white kids, I don't know about how every white household is, but most white kids get talk about what to do when they get in trouble, period. Ours is specifically on how to get out of that situation alive. And when you have to have that talk at 9 or 10 years old, you're not even old. It's a scary thing. And it's like, I can't even, like, a 10-year-old me can't even drive. But a 10-year-old me was getting tall enough to look almost intimidating. Like, we were making jokes about how tall one of our friends' sons are, and his son's getting pretty tall too. And Ryan was talking about how tall she is. I'm like, once you get a certain height, black kids go from cute to dangerous.
Yeah. To target.
Yeah, target. Perfectly said.
We literally walk around with a target on our chest, on our back, on our forehead. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And like you said, we once were cute, like babies.
Yep.
But soon as you become 10, 11, 12, 13, target. You can't our kids can't even go out and play without feeling like somebody's going to say something to me, somebody's going to do something to me. We should not be living in fear.
Nah, and it's crazy because, you know, we're talking about children at the moment, but, and, you know, as a parent, I'm kind of like the smotherer type, so I'm like all over my son and everything. But I had a conversation with my mom, and I was like, you know, does it ever get easier? Like, now that I'm 35, so it's like, you probably don't have those concerns, right? She said, no, it gets harder. And I was like, oh, wow, because, you know, my 9-year-old's in the house with me. Everywhere he goes, I'm going. So I can cover him as much as I can at the moment. Right. Me being 35, or when I hit 20 or whatever, giving my mom a heart attack out doing whatever. You know what I mean? Like, she can't get to me. Right. She don't, unless I'm checking in daily, you know, hourly, she doesn't know what I'm doing. She don't know where I'm at. Any moment she could get that phone call.
Exactly.
So it's like, you know, we talk about, you know, teaching our kids to, you know, not even how to get out of situations, how to avoid the situation. Exactly. Then we got to go over how to get out of the situation, how to, you know, if you do get stopped by the police, no matter what it is, you can't even, you know, you can't show no kind of aggression.
You can't even say anything.
Nothing.
It's almost like you just sit there and let them say whatever.
You got to eat it.
And let them accuse you of whatever, even though deep down inside you didn't do anything. Dare not say anything because you in the wrong, but he can disrespect us all he wants. But I don't understand.
And I don't know if you guys ever seen the show All American on Netflix.
I haven't seen it yet.
You'll have to catch on. It's about a high school football player who's using his talent to get out of the streets of LA. It's a latest show. I recommend to anybody if you've ever seen it. It's an off-the-show period. But there's an episode where he has a mixed friend and they get pulled over by police. And it's all American. He's black like me and Trinity, so you know he's tall, he's athletic. But when he gets put up police, he asks what's going on, why we're being detained, all that, and he gets put down, and he knows what to do. He just stay quiet so you can make it alive. His biracial friend who has a black father and a white mother starts mouthing off, and that gets him body slammed on the ground. So thankfully they were able to get the situation alive. But when they get back to his house, the young man asked his best friend's father, "Why didn't you teach your son what it was like to be a black man in the world?" Like well, he don't know how to do it. He don't know how to deal with the police. Yeah. And he literally was just thinking of trying to do the right thing by speaking up on what was an injustice to him. But speaking on injustice could have got him killed. And that's the real thing. If you don't teach your kids, if you don't have the talk with your kids, they can get killed just speaking on an injustice.
Absolutely.
And that was so mind blowing to me. It was like, no, you're right. Like it was an injustice. It was an injustice. But speaking on the way he was, they could have called aggressive, and they both could have been killed. Yeah. 2 young brothers killed, and it's a TV show, so you know. But that taught so many lessons. It's just like when there was an incident over here a few weeks ago. I was out here with a friend of mine, and we were just vibing. We were talking, me and her were just vibing out here, and this brother was getting bothered, was in a situation with the police. It was the Wednesday before they had the protest by the courthouse. So that incident is going on, and a white girl comes over and she starts speaking on behalf of the black man. Shout out to her because I appreciate that.
Allies.
Yeah, allies. And,
That matter.
Me and my friend Maya were sitting over here, and we were just taking note of it, because when you look like us, you gotta be careful. I can't just roll up here 6'2" on a police officer by himself. Look, and he gets it.
Tribe Called 2.
Let me tell you something. I'm trying to tell you. And that's what I'm telling you. And even Ryan's not overly filthy, but she can't just walk him on a situation not knowing what's going to happen. So going back to the story. So she's speaking on behalf. She said, well, is he being detained? And the first thing the officer said was no. And when he started to walk away, the officer grabbed the brother and said, you're being detained. So I don't know how it changed in 3 seconds. I don't know. I can't say.
Because she asked.
I can't say whether it's right or wrong. I don't know. I'm not a cop. However, I know they took the situation to cross the street. So I started to get up and walk over there to make sure everything was okay. Keep my safe distance with Trinity. Trinity knows what I'm talking about. She knows what I'm talking about. Keep my safe distance. But whatever the situation was, the brother, he was able to get out of me walking over here. And the cops and him were kind of mouthing back and forth. And the young white lady said something, too, that kind of pushing the limit. So I remember I grabbed both of them, and the first thing I said was, yo, I told the officer, I said, no, we're good here. You can ignore that part. And I pulled them away, and I said, no, we've won today. Because everybody can go home safely. We all got friends. And I remember thinking, like, if you can't literally fight every battle. Some battles you got to consider victory, the victory that gets you home in one piece. I remember thinking that. I'm like, yo, that could have ended so many different ways. And we were just sitting in the park chilling. I could have ended so many different ways. And I'm like, we're talking about a small situation that happened in a car. I turned into that.
Yeah, that could have went, real crazy. And him getting upset like that was justified. But it's like they say, it's chess not checkers, right? Because him mouthing off right there was checkers. Yep. You're just trying to beat him one-on-one right there. You're not gonna win.
Nope.
You don't have the law on your side. You don't have the complexion on your side.
No, never that. Never.
So, a situation like that, you just got to eat it. If it's egregious and you can prove that, win the war somewhere else. You know what I mean? But
Exactly.
you're not going to win in that situation at all.
And that's why I appreciate these two. That's because it really is, like he said, about the long game. Because if we were fighting for the short game, there'd be no black people around. They'd just shoot us all and kill us all. Every single one of us. His generation, his offspring, her future offspring, my future offspring. It wouldn't even be none of them because you would just offer us the first chance you get. But moving on to a subject me and Ryan were just talking about right before our compadre right here showed up.
Late as hell.
Hey, by the way, I forgot to mention on that. Yo, we're sorry that we're not recording live because of some technical difficulties. And we apologize because it will be posted on time because 5:45 the CP time means what?
About 6.
Yeah, 6:15, right? Everybody agree?
Hey, blame my son.
And we apologize for not going live. I know we promised to go live. Be patient with us. This is our first time doing this, and we are trying to get the hang of it.
First one.
Yeah. So
we'll be better.
Oh, we will. And anything y'all see that we can improve on, please let us know. We're open-minded to a degree. We'll talk about that later.
Absolutely.
And we just want to learn and be here for y'all. But the next subject I want to get to on Black Lives Matter was about what happened earlier this week down in Cambridge. The murals were defaced. I was alerted by a friend that the Cambridge Harriet Tubman mural had a long black streak through her eyes, and I saw it, and that the one on the road that said Black Lives Matter, I think it had a long black streak through it too. I think a truck had done it, and I remember thinking something so small. That's why we need Black Lives Matter, because that's what people think of us. They didn't do that because of the movement. They did it because black people were out here protesting. And that bothered me this whole week. And I couldn't wait to get on this podcast with these two and talk about it, because I was really bothered by it. So I want to get y'all thoughts on that. I want to ask y'all, why do y'all think someone would go through the effort of doing something so petty if they really believe, and this is going to our next subject, all lives matter. They believe that all lives matter. Why would they go into such a petty and do such a petty thing, like ruin such a beautiful picture, work of art?
Well, do you think all these people doing this stuff, do you think they want attention? Because when stuff like this happens, what happens? It's on the news, it's on social media, and they see it and they're looking like, oh, I did that. Look at all this exposure I've gotten. So I don't know if they're doing it just for attention or are they doing it for cruel intent. Probably a little bit of both.
Could be both. It really could be both.
Any thoughts on it?
Yeah. When I see a situation like that, it's I don't know whether to take it as was that person misguided and misinformed by a certain orange person that is in D.C. But I don't know, and misinformed in a way to think that Black Lives Matter really is a terrorist group or this, that, and the third. They're trying to overtake it. So, in that aspect, it's an ignorance of just not knowing what it actually is. But then, we're in the information age, so you can pull out your phone and get access to whatever information you really want to know, if you want to know it.
If
Google
is your friend.
If you wanted to be. Hey, no, he said another thing, and she alluded to before. This information out here, and people are out here to educate you if you want to be educated, but you can't force that type of stuff on people.
You really can't.
Instead, you try to educate people who look like us with terms like all lives matter and blue lives matter.
Yeah.
So that's the next concept I want to get into before I get into what happened in town about the Frederick Douglass statue. But we're going to talk about blue lives matter right quick, and all lives matter. What do y'all? I'm going to give you blue lives matter. I'm going to give you all lives matter, and then y'all hit me with it. Cool. So who wants to go first? Let's go all lives matter because that came out before blue lives matter, right?
I think
Which
so.
one came out first?
I thought it was blue.
All right, we'll go with blue then. Blue lives matter got it first.
Blue.
Okay,
Thoughts on
blue lives matter. In a sense it do, in a sense it doesn't. And the reason why I say in a sense it do, because I'm talking about the blue lives who cares.
Right.
The blue lives who understand.
Right.
The blue lives who hears us.
Right.
The blue lives who goes the extra mile to make sure that we are okay. Those blue lives, of course they matter, but the other blue lives, I'm not going to say, well, I am going to say it. It doesn't really matter because the blue lives don't worry about the black lives that matter.
Big facts.
And I feel like the blue lives who think that we do matter need to talk to their friends, well, not their friends, their co-workers of the blue lives who think that nothing matters.
Yeah.
And before I give him the podium to talk,
because I do want to talk about it.
I can't. Yo,
also.
I mean, you want hey, do you want to go back and forth this? Because when she said that, all I was thinking about, and I don't want to stall everything.
No. I'll just co-sign it. You say everything. So
like one of the big issues I have with blue lives is like, you look at everybody here. We're not at work. We're not, doing anything particular besides our podcast.
Thank you.
Yo, we live like this. Black Lives Matter is a lifestyle, meaning we're black for life. We
Exactly.
are. We're black for life. All right, it's not what we were trying to be. It's not a job we applied for. It's who we are. You can't pretend. You can't. We don't clock in to be blue lives, Black Lives Matter. We don't clock in to be black. We were born black. We are black. We're gonna be black forever. It's 2 days guaranteed in this life about us besides taxes. And that's death, and then we're gonna be black. Okay, let's just speak on it. Let's just speak on it. So when they say blue lives matter, I'm like, so from the time you clock in to the time you clock out, your life matters to you. Because when you, I appreciate it.
I got you.
I appreciate it. Because when you clock out, are you still blue life? I mean, people may recognize you and see that he's a cop, but they're saying it as your occupation. This ain't an occupation. We're literally black people, and our lives matter. And we're just asking for police to stop being so full of so much BS and stop killing us in the same situation you wouldn't kill a white person for. Dylan, what's his name? Dylan, Roof. Shot up a church.
Insane.
A church full of people celebrating God. And I don't mean to get too religious, but I'm saying he was in a church. They wasn't bothering nobody in church, and he decided to shoot up a church. And not only do you bring him in one piece, you actually get him some food on the way there.
Mm-hmm.
You treat him. You treat him better than you treat some of these. You treated him better than you treated some of these women beaters and rapists out here.
Race soldiers, man, they stick together.
Come on, hey,
Yep.
speak on it, cause go ahead and speak on it.
The whole blue lives thing. You stole a little bit of my thunder, but no, I appreciate it.
No.
I do, because if it's something I'm missing, three great minds, so I love it.
Right.
But yeah, the Blue Lives Matter thing, it's a situation where, all right, we all have occupations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most of us spend more time with our coworkers than we do our families.
Most cases, yep.
Yep.
Now,
Absolutely.
if somebody in my family, one of my best friends is over there off camera,
We'll get him in a sec.
if he was doing something crazy, I would have to check him.
Right.
Absolutely.
If I'm not checking my friend, and I'm checkable too, I'm sure as people watching right now, like, yeah, I done checked him before.
Right.
Yeah, because
they care about you.
That's love, man.
Yep.
If I'm out here acting crazy, and that goes back to the family back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
If you was acting up down the street, your parents wasn't there, somebody else was there to check you.
Thank you. Preach.
Exactly.
My family, a lot of them is all on one street. So if I cut up all the way at the end, I'm getting pardon my French, I'm getting my ass kicked there. Next house, get my ass kicked. I'm getting my ass kicked all the way home, and then I'm getting a phone call. They get my dad getting a phone call. So I'm gonna be all kind of messed up because it's community.
Mm-hmm.
But
Hey, that's where you're going, folks.
yeah, I went off on a tangent, but anyway.
No, I know exactly what you're going to say. Go
Yeah.
say it.
So if you see somebody who is your coworker, who you spend more time with than your family,
That's what I'm talking about.
you should be able to check these people. You can go out and have drinks at happy hour, or kids'
lunch
birthday parties.
break.
Y'all are all there. You can't
Hanging
say
out
something.
on the weekend.
Come on, man. Just accountability. That's all it is. Just be accountable.
And I knew he was going to get on that, and I couldn't have said it more elegantly. That's why I had to let him shine in that moment, because he's a man of that. And my biggest issue is that it's like, you want to believe that there are good cops, because there are. But how many good cops don't speak up when they see it wrong? How many good cops are covering for bad cops? How the
I feel
hell
like
are
they
you a
be
good
turning
damn
their
cop
head.
when you don't see shit? Like you said, you don't see something, huh? How many good cops are there, or are we supposed to believe in when we see good cops allowing bad cops to be bad cops? So that's another issue. I got a big issue. Obviously, these two agree. Obviously, it's a big issue in the world, and obviously we want to hear y'all thoughts on that. So we got that comment section. If you got any questions on that or something to add on to that, you please let us know what you think on it. The next thing I wanted to address with my group mates is what happened uptown with the Frederick Douglass statue.
You want to hit all lives?
Huh? Oh, my bad. Yo, that's why I'm in the group.
He waiting for
Hey,
that
yo,
part.
look.
I
Hey, look.
I just
Y'all know he ready to go in. You know he ready to
nah,
go in.
it ain't even that.
No. Hey, my apologies to everybody watching.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about all lives matter, because clearly all lives matter except for black people. That's how I take it. But Trinity, take it away, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear. What's understood don't really need to be explained, but I'll go ahead and do it anyway. So
Go ahead.
no, before, I want to interrupt you for 1 second. It needs to be explained, because whenever you see it, and here it is, what's today's date?
17.
All right, July 17th, 2020. People still saying all lives matter. So clearly, I want you to educate. If you're open-minded enough and you saying all lives matter, I want you to listen to my brother here. I want you to learn to get some good knowledge, good intel from a great source of information. Preach.
All right, so you hear it all the time. All lives matter. Okay. On its face, every single life there is would have to matter for that statement to be true. Now, if you're saying all lives matter at this point, it's a situation where you're putting out the dog whistles or the coded language, which doesn't work. Actually, and like my man said, not all white people. A lot of great white people.
They are.
But a lot of the times, right, the coded language is used by the racists or whatever. Every black person I know understands all the code. The only ones that don't understand the code usually are other white people that don't have those ideas that the racist white people have. So that brings in question, you'll hear, certain white person saying like, that wasn't racist. You think that was racist? Yeah, because your ears aren't trained to hear what it is. So there's a lot of statements like that. So at this point, all lives matter is what it is. It's a racist call saying that, nah, y'all lives don't matter. And really all lives means our lives.
Yeah,
that's
exactly
really all
what
that
it
matters
means.
to them.
That's exactly what it means. And that's code for saying white lives matter.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Because you're not talking about the Mexicans.
Right.
You're not talking about the Puerto Ricans. You're not talking about anybody like that.
Because if you were, that whole incident in Mexico where all them kids were getting separated with their families would have been the first thing y'all brought up, and y'all would have been fighting
they
for.
still in cages.
You know, and they still in cages. Like you said, that would have been something y'all still bringing up. But since All Lives Matter only applies to a certain demographic that she pointed out, then,
White folk.
you know, it is what, like you said, it is what it is. Because we know what y'all mean by it.
So I got a
Hey, let
question.
me call you back.
How do y'all feel when people say, especially white people, I don't see color?
Oh my God. Did you like me? Okay. I love this question. I love it. I am so, see, this is why this is why the group was made. I love this question. You want to know why I love this question? You know why I love this question? Oh my God.
You ready to set me up?
Yo,
Talk to him, bro.
Yo, you know why I love this question? Because first of all, that's stage one of the racists, all right? That's stage one racists say, I don't see color. Bull motherfucking shit. Because anytime you see, anytime you say you don't see race, you're ignoring every problem that community has, and you're what's the word I'm thinking of? Oh, you're benefiting from white privilege. Because that's something most white people say. That's 90% of the time I've heard that shit in my life. It's been from white people. And no offense to you white people who don't say it, but for ones who do, what y'all mean is y'all problems don't apply to me. Okay? So when we out here getting shot for being black, it don't mean a goddamn thing. When we look at our incarceration rights, which are 4 to 5 times of a white person, even though statistically speaking they do a little bit more crime than we do, no, it don't matter to you. Shit that happens to us, to Hispanics, to Asians, to Native Americans, it don't matter to you because you don't see race. Okay? But everybody else in the world sees race. When you fill your senses, do you put I don't see race at the bottom, or do you put what you are? The government sees race.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of y'all believe in the government. Police see race.
Yeah.
Because when they destroy, let me tell you something. If me and Trinity and Ryan all commit a crime right now, they're gonna say 2 black males and a black woman. They ain't gonna say 2 males and a woman.
Nope.
So you mean, what the fuck do you mean you don't see race? You better get that bullshit out of here. Yeah. First of all, pardon my language for you kids that see it. Pardon my language.
Keep going, bro. Keep going.
Pardon my language for you young people.
I want to go, but keep going. Keep going.
Because I'm going to take 20 more steps because he going to shine on it too. But, and again, pardon my language, but it's such a disrespectful thing to say to somebody. So you're disregarding everything there is about me. I'm a black dude, all right? Some of y'all may say African American. I don't care how you, but that's who I am. You don't disregard a part of me that makes me who I am. The way I think, the way I act, who I am, the way I speak is because I'm a black person, as it is with these two. So don't disregard who we are. That's all you do is disregarding who we are, okay? Don't ever say, well, I don't see race. Well, clearly you don't say anything that can negatively impact my life or anybody who I care about or people who look like me. So why don't you not see any part of me over in that direction somewhere? Mm-hmm. Trinity, take it off, man.
Yeah, so you touched on, the negative effect of that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, that's deep. That's ingrained. But on the flip side, if you come to me and you say you don't see color, that's a slap in the face in the other direction too, because it's like, you don't see this black gold.
Hey,
What?
You don't see all the the things that we've contributed to this place. You might not know, but Google's your friend, like I said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just all the dynamic things that we do that you see every day. I'm pretty sure your favorite entertainer or whatever is melanated. I'm sure your favorite sports player is melanated. I'm sure there are certain people that you're like, man, I like his style or her style. I'm sure they're melanated too.
I would guarantee,
I
would guarantee it.
And that's just the superficial things. You know what I mean? It's okay. Yeah, I can jump better than you or whatever. But there's a certain intellect that we have that's just ingrained in us. Not saying that other races aren't, because people are people. Smart, dumb, whatever.
He loves you all.
But you have to see it. You have to see me. I see Ryan. If you don't see color, then you would never be able to recognize anybody.
Exactly.
If I don't see color, I can't come to this table and say, "Oh, what's up, Doug?" Because if I don't see color, I come to the table like, "Have we met before?"
Exactly.
Because I wouldn't recall what your characteristics.
Thank you.
So you see the color.
You see it.
And See, I'm getting off on a tangent.
No. This is why we here. Speak your go off.
But
I know I went off.
It's just crazy, man. Like, I don't know. It's disrespectful.
He did it so much more articulately and more composed than me, and I appreciate
No,
that.
no.
And she's been it looked like even though you were going off.
No, we needed that.
Yo,
We needed that.
really did.
I was like, we ready to get
really
canceled, but
yo, now
you
look,
know.
they're not canceling us. All right,
We about to be Nick Cannon.
we about we gonna go on that a little bit later too. Cause we got you. We got you.
I do want to say this. All lives matter, but guess what? Y'all love our culture. You guys listen to our music. Matter of fact, when the world was open, out in the clubs, in the bars, y'all get more hype when our music come on than we do. You guys know more of the lyrics. You guys know the dance routines, everything.
Check out TikTok and you'll see exactly what you're talking
It
about.
ain't nothing but white people doing the dances, singing the songs, braiding their hair like us.
Yep.
I mean, come
Cultural
on.
appropriation
come
is going
on.
to be at the topic of another.
yeah.
We
gotta
got
get them vultures
those
out of
we
here.
got to get them.
who listen to Jay-Z, Lord forbid, Kanye West, 50 Cent,
Kanye.
and everybody like that. You guys love our culture. You guys want to be like us. Our lives matter. Because guess what? Jay-Z is not just an entertainer. Beyonce is not just an entertainer. They are black. Yeah, they have money, but when they get off that stage, they get off those awards, they stop doing those interviews, they go home, and they go home to their black families. Not their entertainment family, their black families. So think about it when you say all lives matter. Because does Beyonce lives matter? Does her kids' lives matter? If that's the case, black lives matter because they damn sure black.
Yeah. And to my, white allies that are listening, if you have one black person that you love, understand when you see another black person, just take that love that you have for yours that you personally know and apply it to them.
Yeah.
That's all it takes, really. It takes a humanizing moment, because everybody turns a blind eye to certain things. It's like, oh man, I don't know them. But if you sit there and you say, oh man, that's, if you envision in your head, oh, that's what's the name, you'll feel that empathy and the sympathy in there, and you'll be like, oh yeah, we need to change something. Because what if that black person that you love was underneath that knee, or caught those bullets, or hung from a tree, anything, you have to put yourself in that situation and empathize with it.
And I feel like that's when their loyalty to the black person they so-called love is challenged.
Yeah.
Because let's say, like you said, their black best friend, something happened to them or their family member. What position did that put you in? Are you going to say, oh, I love Tasha. I feel so sorry for her family. What are you going to do for Tasha? What are you going to do for her family? Being that you love her and she's no longer here, are you going to go out and show emotional support? Or are you going to turn your head and be like, you know what, she was just my work friend?
Before we move on to our next subject matter, I just want to say, outside of black people, everybody wants to be black, so it's time to fight for black people.
Yep.
Everybody.
And we fight for everybody.
We fight for everybody.
We the first ones on the
Everybody.
line.
I mean,
Everybody.
We
literally,
fight for
literally.
everybody.
I mean, black.
Everybody.
Nobody come to
women-
our cookout.
Black
Nope.
women, nobody. But black women, yeah, like you said, nobody invited us to the cookout. But we gotta invite everybody else. But black women especially fighting for everybody.
Yeah.
You know,
We
and
put our
black
life
kings
on
like this,
the line
he fights for everybody too.
every day.
But black women, my God, yo, I
Every
preach y'all
day.
sisters.
And that made me think. I'm gonna just touch on one little subject.
go ahead,
I'm
go ahead.
sorry.
No,
we
go
going
ahead.
off.
That's why we here.
To my black women, stop fighting in the feminist movement, because that only affects change for white women.
Agree.
Yep.
Y'all doing all this work alongside of them in the same position that you've been in. You're doing all this for nothing.
And still
So-
get paid less.
They're climbing the ladder,
Yeah.
and we're still staying
Did
still.
you see the interview? It was going viral. Viola Davis where she was talking about. I don't know where the clip came from or whatever or what year it was. She was like, "Yeah, I get it all the time. You're like a black Meryl Streep."
Isn't that a fucking joke?
Yeah, and she's like, all right, well, I got all the awards that she's got. I got all the cachet. You're telling me that my talent is off the chain. I got the education, all that, but I'm still paid less. Why can't she be the white Viola Davis?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
why don't we just start making that trending?
That comparison is terrible.
Like you're saying that she's less because she's a black version of her.
Because she's
oh,
black.
You're good for a black
You're
woman.
good for a black woman. And we've all experienced that. In some way or shape, most of us of a certain age have experienced
you're
that.
nice for a black guy.
You're nice. Well, I didn't expect you to be like that. What did you expect?
Or another one, he's handsome to be black.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's cute to be black.
Or dark.
Yes. Oh
or
my God.
Dark.
She's cute for a dark skin girl.
For a dark skin girl.
You're so well spoken.
Yes. All right.
What we all supposed to be ghetto. We all supposed to cuss. We're all supposed to be ignorant. Like
we're not monolithic.
No, we're not.
Look at you. Look at us three. Now me and him, because we got the beard, but outside of that, you know what I mean? Like, we come in different shades.
Don't we?
Different sizes,
Don't
different everything, man. Like, oh man, it's so beautiful.
It is.
It's
My
so
black is beautiful.
It's
It
beautiful.
really is.
And I would never want to be anything else but a black woman.
Me neither.
I never thought about
well, not a black
being
woman, but
anything else but a black woman.
Hey, that's beautifully said. My partners are on it. I appreciate having these two here. I think one of the last things we're going to talk about today, then we got a few shout-outs leading into our next episode, is I want to get in, because we're on the subject of Black Lives Matter. Like I said, we will trail off from time to time. We're winging this, so sorry. We will improve, but we're still winging it. We're going to keep winging it, and it's going to be live moving forward. We'd like it to be anyway. But I wanted to go into what happened in town about the statue. We have, I say this loosely, a brother on the Talbot County Council, loosely now, named Mr. Pack, who
I was
was
going to
speaking.
say, you guys know who he is.
Yeah, I got to say it extra loose. Like, as loose as my shorts are. Hey, I got to say, that's how loose I got to say it. He was speaking up saying that they're going to remove the statue but still keep the base of it with all the names on it. And I want to get my co-group members' ideas on that, because I'm going to let them go before I go in.
What's your take on it?
What? I'm not well informed on the situation.
Okay.
Are you talking about the Talbot boys that they're taking?
Yes.
So they're going to leave names?
They're going to leave, I think from what I've heard, they're going to take off the top part. And anybody who's out there if I'm misinformed, correct me, but I'm pretty sure they're just going to take the statue itself and leave the names of all the people that have fallen up there.
So you take the symbol, but you leave the names of the people.
So we know, yes.
So we know who the people are.
Yeah.
So what are they doing?
I agree. Hey, I completely agree. And my biggest issue was, like, before I go into Corey Peck, I'm like, well, the first thing I heard was, well, if you take that statue down, you gotta take the Frederick Douglass statue down. Is that your answer to it? How old is that statue? Everyone here is older than the Frederick Douglass statue.
Yeah.
I told you how
it's fairly new.
I told you how much of a damn they give about black people, because everybody knows Frederick Douglass is from Talbot County. He was born in Talbot County. Yet you got one in 2010 or something. Like, it's not that old. You decided to put a statue of Frederick Douglass, despite knowing his contributions to Talbot County forever.
You know what's crazy though? If we took a poll, I guarantee that most kids in school wouldn't even know that he was from Talbot County.
Absolutely.
How crazy is that?
Not.
You got one of the, in the history of the country,
Abolitionists and civil rights movement
right here. And you don't.
County.
Everything here should be named after you.
Street.
Wouldn't you be celebrating that?
Yeah.
And to highlight on what he just said, can you believe that we've had a statue since around 2010, maybe a little bit after that? The statue's not 15, 20 years old yet. We're all in our 30s. We're all older than that statue, and we're all relatively young enough. Think about that. Some of y'all have kids who can't drive who are older than that statue.
Yep.
That's how much they give a damn about us. That's another reason why Black Lives Matter, because they don't give a damn about our lives.
And then, like, even the comparisons of the statue, it's like, okay, now if one side is built on hatred, and that's why you want to get it removed, and this side is like, oh yeah, I just want to do good for my people and people in general. You want to get that statue removed?
Of course.
So,
Of course. It makes sense to them. Makes sense to them.
I feel like Frederick need a brother or a sister across from him.
I agree.
That's all I'm saying. Somebody that, symbolized what he stood for. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because, like Trini said, you have hatred over here, and then you have somebody who did all he could for people of color. I don't see the comparison.
20 feet apart. The 20 feet, 30 feet apart, so they're like right next. And I think it's insulting.
like good versus bad.
that's crazy.
And the Talbot County, I saw some of the video. They were talking about when they kept it up 5 years ago. They said the reason was because of its historical impact on Talbot County. And I'm
Oh,
like,
the losing side?
yes, I agree.
Didn't know we celebrated losers.
Hey,
Me
I didn't know
either.
we celebrated racism because that's what the war was fought over. But since you want to celebrate racism, okay, I understand why you keep it up. I know exactly what I need to know about Talbot County and people who run this county when you said keep that statue up. I know exactly what you feel about us.
But I will say this. It's a part of history, but it's not a part of our history. I don't mind you putting it in a museum
Yeah, I agree.
somewhere,
I agree.
but
Paraded around like
at the court where most black people go to court, you walking in court, you see Frederick Douglass and you see the Talbot boys.
You know you ain't got a chance.
I was saying this.
Exactly.
I was about to say I'm going to jail.
There is no
I'm going to
chance.
jail.
Because
I'm going to
who
jail.
knows who those people, what and who those people in that courthouse represent.
I'm going to jail.
Yep.
I'm with
It's
Trini.
a guarantee you're going to jail.
I was thinking the same thing, and I don't have exact statistics of how court cases go, but because I have certain sources as a correctional officer, I have heard certain things, but we're not going to get into that today. We've already got off subject enough. I'm staying on subject matter, but I will say that I'm with Trini. That's the first thing I thought about. When she says you have a statue of the Tall Boys up there celebrating what the Tall Boys fought for, the first thing I'm thinking about as a black person, and we're two black, and we're three black individuals who don't get in any trouble. The first thing I'm thinking about the first time we may get in trouble is I'm going to jail.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm guilty.
Yep.
I'm guilty.
Yep.
I ain't
Yep.
got no chance.
Yeah.
I'm going to jail. So yeah.
But see, even on that, right? Speaking about the court situation and everything, like jury duty, we all hate jury duty. But please don't try to, if you see a brother or a sister up there, don't try to get out of jury duty.
Right.
Because it might be a case where everything is so slanted. You might be the difference between them going to jail over some bull or going home. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I don't care. Even if you take a hung jury or something, stick to
Live
your
with it.
guns. I'm not saying go favorable just because they're black. If they did some wild stuff, get them up out of here. But
Yeah.
if it's a situation where you see the brother on there, don't duck the trial because we need representation. They try to weed us out anyway, even if we're eligible in there.
All the time.
Like us three, we probably wouldn't get picked for it because we're in that age bracket.
Right.
But don't try to duck it.
He made an interesting point because while some individuals may not, he was asking for us to fight, to give our brothers a fighting chance on the merit they may be innocent. They may be innocent. Because I think sometimes some white folks is up there just to say someone's guilty just because of what they look like.
Yeah.
If I get on the stand, depending on the charges, wrong place, wrong time, I think I'm going to jail if I see an all-white jury. And whenever you hear that, I know y'all have heard it. He was found guilty by all-white jury. I be thinking, how the hell did you fight? How the hell did you get an all-white jury of 12 jury members? How the hell did you get 12 white people of a certain age
It's supposed to
group?
be mixed. It's supposed to be
It's
mixed.
supposed to be.
Women
Jury
supposed to
of
be
my
in
peers.
there.
Ain't my peers?
No,
I don't even know these people. I don't even know these people.
Oh, come on, man.
just met them today.
But so we've had a free-flowing atmosphere so far. We're gonna get more focused and try to stay on focus in the future. Is there anything else y'all want to touch on the subject of Black Lives Matter or anything in general that you want to talk on for this episode?
Yeah, there's one thing that I want to say.
Okay.
This is for black, Spanish, Asian, white, whatever. If you have if you're not black and you have friends that are black, or if you're black and you have friends that aren't black, you got to have these uncomfortable situations in uncomfortable conversations about what's going on, and just get some understanding, because there's a lot of things that, I have white friends that have no clue about our number, like population-wise, anything that we go through, anything that happens every time I step foot out of the door, or whenever I'm walking down the street, or it's just endless conversations that, that things that can be brought up. So have those conversations. If you truly love that person and they love you, it won't be off limits. Come in with an open heart, open mind, and just have the conversations. Don't leave anything untouched. Anything you want to know, or if you just want to say, take me through your daily experience.
Right.
That alone,
daily.
Just got to have that conversation.
If the conversation is uncomfortable, guess what? It needs to be had.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you're uncomfortable, you're growing.
And
Yep. You're not too young or too old to be educated.
Right.
Nope.
Everybody doesn't know everything.
Nope.
Every day
No, I don't.
is a learning lesson. Every day I learn something new.
Yeah.
Every day. About myself, about life, about people around me. Nobody's not too smart. You actually continue learning until the day you die.
Right.
that was beautiful. I enjoyed the heck out of that.
I do want to say one thing. Somebody asked me to shout this out. So on the 28th of August, it's going to be a commitment march called Get Off Our Necks. And it's going to be in Washington, D.C. at the Lincoln Memorial Park. So if you're not doing anything on the 28th, be there. Don't forget to wear your mask. Don't forget to wash your hands and sanitize.
Wash your ass
Boom.
too. What time is that?
It didn't say what time. I guess you just go whenever. It clearly don't have a time on here.
Well, we'll try to get the link and put
We'll post it as we get more information. Next time we want to get into a subject of what? What y'all have in mind for next episode? We'll post it.
I have a few things.
Okay.
We'll
discuss it and we'll post it.
Yeah.
But this is she shouted out somebody. This is the part where we want to shout out everybody who joined our page, showed love to our group. I personally want to shout out these two for this experience. This has been amazing. Episode 1. And this is going to be an amazing journey. Hopefully we can take you on there. We also want to shout out his best friend, good friend of mine, friend of Ryan's, the OG. He's not a talker. He's not a talker. So he's not going to say anything. But we just got to show him.
What's up?
All right. So, that's Bobby.
You do the plug-in since he don't.
Yes, sir. August 8th, right?
Yeah.
August 8th. He's going to have his school supply giveaway. He's been doing it for 5 years. He's going to give you more information on that day. But we're going live on that day. All right? A Tribe of 3. We're going live on that day. We're showing love. We're doing our little bit of show of how important black people like that are, and we're probably going to shout out a couple more black businesses. That'll probably be a day we focus on black businesses.
Yeah.
August 8th, we'll have it posted on the page. We'll share it. We're going live. If your kids need anything, come on out there. We're going to help out as much as we can, too, because he's just that kind of guy. Bobby's not a talker like we are, especially me. I can talk my ass off, but he's not a talker, so we're going to make sure we show him plenty of love. He's done this amazingly. Can you imagine how important it is to give away free school supplies when parents already got so much? You're a parent. You know how much you got to pay for. Yeah. Teachers got to pay for school supplies, so he doesn't even know how big of a contribution he's making. He's not appreciated enough. He's not celebrated enough. A Tribe of 3 is going to celebrate him. So
that's Bobby Johnson, Endless Vision, not to be confused with any other suckers that try to use that. But,
shots fired.
But anyway, what's your
He wanted that so bad.
your
Y'all already
social-
know.
Yeah. What's your social? Instagram, Facebook.
Instagram, OG Bobby J. The O of Bobby is a 0. I think tomorrow actually, Shahi washing uniform in tomorrow because he picked some logos on the backpacks.
What's his brand?
Boss up.
Yes.
Shaheem Washington,
Yes.
Young Shotgun.
So we
Shotty.
Love you, boy.
we're supposed to meet up tomorrow because he picked logos on some of the backpacks. And he's gonna this individual supporting black businesses and stuff like that. So
And the Tribe of 3 will also be supporting black businesses. and black leaders in the community.
So he'll definitely be there August 8th too. That's not the back
Well,
that he put his logos on.
Or y'all get your interview game faces on because we're doing interviews that day with both of y'all.
Yeah, there should be a couple companies out there, businesses and stuff. I'm putting logos of people's like black-owned businesses.
You know any of them? Shout them out.
Not right now,
Not
because
yet.
we still in the talk right now. But Shotty already got the book bags last week. And he printed them out right now.
Nah,
We talked to him, says it'll be done.
that's Ray Warner.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Got a whole bunch of them.
Salute that guy,
That'd
man,
be
for
good.
real.
Salute. You know, ISO done by Boo Ricks. Shout out Boo Ricks.
Cuzzo.
A whole bunch of individuals. Like I said, we just named a couple. We're going to get more into that because we're going to, that day we're going to, aside from putting the primary focus on his school supply giveaway, we're going to shout out other black businesses. Hopefully we can do a couple interviews. This is our first episode, so we winged the hell out of it. Hope you enjoyed the content.
I'll be on time next time, I swear.
No, we won't. We probably won't be on time. Look, 5:45, but we'll see. Hopefully, we'll be started about 6. We plan on going live. A few technical difficulties. We'll get it straight. We apologize if this was too raw or whatever, but we're going to give it to you raw. So we're not sorry about that.
Raw
yeah,
dog.
Yeah, you know. We're sorry, we're not sorry. It's like Nick Cannon apology. I'm sorry, but I'm not really sorry. I'm just sorry because you want me to say
So
it.
he ready to get his
Thank
canceled.
Look, we ready to get canceled. I'm sorry. All right. Anyway, so give us your thoughts in the comments and at the bottom of the video. If you think there's anything we can improve on, you can message us directly or put it on the page, because I know I talk a lot. I probably talk too fast sometimes. I know it's a lot I can improve on. Other than that, I'm here with these two intellectuals, and I'm being made a better person just for the experience. We thank you. You got anything you want to say?
Nah, just anybody that chooses to take time to look at this, whether it's 10 seconds or you watch the whole 50 minutes or whatever it is, I appreciate it. I'm sure they appreciate it as well.
Right.
This is not my thing. I'm usually, low in the cut. This is my classmate. We are 5 days apart.
Yeah.
Knowing her my whole life,
Right.
we were, in the bellies at the same hospital. Haven't seen her in forever because I'm that low. So I appreciate, being here with these two. I wouldn't be here with anybody else because, I respect their views and everything. We originally, I don't even know what post it was. It was some Facebook post.
That
but
we all got one in on.
we all got on and we're just going back and forth. We took it over.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And we
I
were
love
like,
every minute of it.
Yep.
I'm not sure who came up with it. I'll give it to
What do
Ryan.
y'all? Yeah. Hey, I know it wasn't me.
Yeah, we should do a podcast.
Yeah.
And this was in the making, like,
Way before Corona. Corona actually stopped us. So,
messed us up.
you know.
So
Before we get out of here, Ryan actually has a nice list of stuff that we're going to cover as part of our podcast at different episodes. From somebody wanted us to talk about Black Wall Street. My boy Danny, shout out to you, my brother. We're definitely going to do that. We're actually going to. What else did you have on your list?
Well, we're going to touch on the Smith family.
Next
Full
week.
show.
What a week after.
I
Probably.
got some thoughts on that.
Yeah, we'll probably touch on Nick Cannon a little bit.
The list goes on. And we are, I don't mean to
Go ahead.
overtalk you,
Talk, Queen.
but
Talk. I talk too much anyway.
if you have anything you want us to talk about, feel free to leave a comment. We are open to talk about anything. If you need us to touch on anything, relationships.
Yeah, that's my bag right there.
Mine's
Not
too, really. Mine's too, really.
Well,
And anything else, even if you just have a question about whatever, you want our opinion on it, we got you.
yeah, like you said, I'm gonna let them lead the relationship part, but we are gonna talk into Kanye and every other self-proclaimed black leader of the community,
We got you.
and who white folks be acting, because most people white people telling us who should be leading our community, because we don't ever suggest who should be leading white people, but you always find a reason to tell us who should be our leaders. We'll touch on that. We'll touch on a whole list of stuff that affects us directly as black individuals. So we hope you enjoyed. Like I said, any recommendations you got for us, besides being on time, we'll probably not do that one. 5:45 was like CP time, 6 o'clock, 6:15. So this is probably going to be posted around 6:30, 7 o'clock. It's probably past 6:30 now. So probably,
It's about 7.
oh, yes, about
Like
7. So about
7.
7:30 then. We hope you enjoyed our content. Ryan, thank you. Trini, thank you. I'm Doug. Thank y'all. This is a Tribe of 3, and we are out. You can go ahead and stop.
Oh, you can stop.